Not only is your baby getting enough sleep important to their development, but it's important for us as parents for them to get enough sleep so they're happy and not cranky and tired throughout the day. Trying to figure out how many naps they need, how many hours of sleep they need, how much awake time they need is very overwhelming. So I want to explain the way I view it that hopefully can make it less overwhelming. Let's pretend that every baby has a sleep pressure meter. Ideally, every morning when your baby wakes up, the meter is empty or almost empty. I'm going to use Rose as an example. So she's 8 months old, and when she wakes up, her meter is completely empty because she sleeps like 13 hours a night. So she wakes up, it's 8 a.m., and it usually takes her about 2 hours for her to get cranky. So the sleep pressure is building, and she's starting to get cranky, so I need to relieve her of that pressure. And I don't relieve her all the way. Obviously, we don't want her to sleep 12 hours, so she's relieved a little bit, and she's happy again. And then throughout the day, she's playing, she's, stimulated, and then she's cranky again. And typically throughout the day, they're able to stay awake for longer periods. So I had to relieve her after 2 hours the first time, but usually it takes about 3 to 4 hours to relieve her the second time. So I relieve her, and that's her second nap of the day. And she's happy again, and now it's like 4 o'clock, and she's playing and eating, having so much fun. And the sleep pressure is building and building, and it's at maximum capacity, and it's bedtime. Ideally, you want the sleep pressure to build throughout the day, but you do need to relieve it so they're happy. And if this is not completely full, then they're probably not going to sleep all night. But if it's overflowing, then they're going to be overtired, and it's going to take a long time for them to fall asleep, and they also might not sleep the whole night because they're overtired. Now, another thing to keep in mind is how fast this sleep pressure meter fills up will depend on their age, most importantly, and how much stimulation they're getting. So if you have a 3-month-old, their sleep pressure meter is going to fill up a lot quicker, and they're going to need to be relieved a lot more often. Fill up slower if they're not being stimulated a lot. So if they're just sitting on your lap, or if they're watching TV, it'll go by slower. But if they're doing tummy time, or they're crawling around, or they're reading stories, then it'll fill up quicker. So I don't think you need to be on any crazy routine. I think that if you just are mindful of this meter throughout the day and you relieve them when they need to be relieved, you and your baby will be fine.